What's going on, my fellow troops? My name is Xavvo and welcome back to a brand new video. So today I'm going to be bringing you guys the best MTZ Interceptor class in Modern Warfare 3 for Season 4. So I've been really testing around with this marksman rifle and trying to make it as best as I physically can. Because if you guys do not know, I have obviously done the whole Interstellar grind. I did that way back in like January or February time. And I believe not only for the Zircon scale grind that I've done recently, which I'm working towards Borealis still, but also for the Interstellar grind, this was probably one of the least enjoyable marksman rifles of the base 4 that you have to do in the game. So I have really gone out of my way here to try and make this gun as fun as physically possible and as satisfying to use. And I think I've managed to check that box, both of those boxes, very easily here. So what I've gone and done for this weapon, and what you guys will actually be able to expect from this class on screen, from the gameplay, is that this gun is going to have as much mitigated recoil and kickback as physically possible. Granted, I don't know if you'd really call it recoil, but it's definitely kickback. The gun has a lot of gun kick when you're firing it, so I've tried to mitigate that as much as physically possible. It still has great range on it, high damage output. It takes about 2 shots per kill, which is insanely good, and it even has fast ADS, so you're not having to worry about your mobility, your handling. It's just quick to move around with, and it just feels so satisfying to get kills with this gun. So I think I've actually managed to turn this gun into a top tier meta weapon even. It's so goddamn fun to use, this gun, and I didn't think I was going to be able to make it that good. So I hope that you guys will enjoy this class setup by the end of the video. Obviously stay through for all the attachments, all of the class setup in general, so obviously what I'm running on the class setup and not just the attachments, just everything that can help improve and boost this gun even more and will make it even more fun to use in general. So I think you guys are going to love this gun, and I think you guys are going to really enjoy this class. If you're grinding for the camos or whatever it is that you're doing or leveling up, you're going to really enjoy this class. I think it's going to help you out greatly. But anyway, with that being said, hopefully the gameplay showed enough, and let's get to the class setup. Okay guys, so here we are on the class setup area. Obviously the MTZ Interceptor is the primary. Do excuse the name. I know it says MTZ Interceptor, like Interceptor, like it's missing some of the letters. I had to do that because the game counts its own gun's name as profanity somehow when you're customizing the modification for the gun. I don't know why you can't name the gun its actual name. This is a problem with the MCW 6.8 as well. The game's a bit retarded, but anyway, that is the gun. It's just my custom name I've given it. So MTZ Interceptor is of course the primary. The secondary, I'm just running the tier pistol. That's completely up to you. You can run whatever you want for this. And by the way, for the vest, we are running the overkill vest. Now, there's actually a reason for this, because the overkill vest doesn't force you to run a primary as a secondary gun. You can still run a secondary weapon like I am, a pistol, or you can run a primary. So it's only an optional choice. But the thing that's so good about this vest is not only does it grant you that option in case you really want to run a different gun for your secondary and not a pistol or something like that, but it also allows you to reload while sprinting and increases your weapon swap speed by a minimum of 40%. So this is essentially, if you guys don't recognize this, these 2 top bullet points are literally the effects of using 2 types of gloves in this game in one vest. And those 2 gloves are actually the commando gloves, I believe. So yeah, the commando gloves, reload while sprinting, improve sprint to fire. So yes, there's like a sprint to fire improvement that this glove does as well. But the first part of that, which is reloading while sprinting, this vest does that. So you don't have to use the commando gloves. And also this one, quick grip gloves, which allows you to increase weapon swap speed by a minimum of 40%. This glove does that same thing that this vest does. So we've essentially gained the effects of 2 of these gloves at the same time from the vest, so that we don't have to use those gloves. And for the gloves, I'm actually running scavenger gloves, because on this weapon you'll have about 20 rounds maximum. That's as much as you possibly can have, because there's only one magazine that you can use for this gun, and it's the 20 round mag. And there's only 40 rounds in secondary, I believe, so you don't actually have a lot of ammo. And if you're going for high kills, high streaks, you're definitely going to want to be able to pick up additional ammo as you go. So I thought it would be great that we put scavenger gloves on this class just to resupply ammo, and even throwing knives if you want, from dead players. So that's why we're running that glove. Obviously, one downside to the overkill vest is it will take off your field upgrade, but then again, I can't think of many reasons why you'd need the field upgrade in this case. I don't really use it that often unless I'm going for, like, let's say the bullet penetration rounds, or whatever they called, you know, the high damage bullet rounds, or I would use like maybe the munitions box for additional ammo and stuff like that. But in this case, we don't need to have the munitions box. We have the scavenger gloves to get additional ammo. So, you know, I feel like it doesn't really matter that much that we've lost the field upgrade, but that's the one thing I will say that is kind of a downside to this vest if you're one of those field upgrade lovers. But yeah, we do still have the tactical, which is the stim, and the lethal is the Semtex right here. For the boots, I'm actually running the covert sneakers. Now, I've learned from what I kind of picked up from, I think, Xavvo's video and some other Call of Duty YouTubers, apparently covert sneakers are really good at the moment. I don't know if they're trying to patch it or they're trying to make this basically worse so that people find reasons to use other boots, but essentially they don't want us to use covert sneakers. The developers are noticing that people are using them because all of these other boots don't really matter that much, and these boots here pretty much completely make your footsteps invisible, like mitigated. So I've heard very good things about these boots, so I figured for this class I would just stick them on there. So this is going to eliminate your footstep sounds. I'm not really sure how loud your footsteps can be in the game and if the weapon you're using actually affects that. I was under the impression that if you're using a heavier gun like an LMG that maybe your footsteps would be louder, but I guess in general footsteps are just kind of loud in this game, so covert sneakers are a must. And finally, for the gear, we are running the EOD padding. This is going to reduce damage from non-killstreak enemy explosives and enemy fire, so just making yourself extra strong as you're running about using this marksman rifle, because again, this is not the best marksman rifle in the game, and you know, it's still a single fire weapon, so you're going to want to be as protected as possible whilst you're running and gunning. But anyway, now let's get to the attachments of this weapon, and yeah, as you can see, there is no attachments on it. I've taken them off so you goobwards can't go pinching all my attachments before I even explain them. That's a habit that I've noticed on this channel a lot over the years, not just for this game. People just don't care to actually listen. They have the attention span of a goldfish, so they just take the attachments and go. But anyway, so the very first attachment we're running, and you'd be surprised, it's not the barrel, it's actually the laser. So the laser we're running is the FSS OLV laser. This is one I use quite a lot on the channel, but there's a good reason for it, because with this type of gun, you're going to want to improve your aiming stability, and you're going to want to improve your ADS and sprint to fire speed. So this is absolutely crucial to use on this marksman rifle, because that is one of the main things that I noticed on this gun when we were trying to prioritize the firing and the stability of the gun. It started to take an effect on mobility and handling. So this here is going to absolutely help you out a lot. Then the next attachment we are running is the underbarrel. So for the underbarrel, we are running the FTAC MSP 98 hand stop. As you can see, the reason we're using this is, of course, it does do some gun kick control and some movement speed control, but the main thing we're looking at here is it's going to drastically improve your vertical recoil. So we want to obviously bring that down, make it a lot more, you know, easy to shoot with. So that is why we're running that underbarrel. And then the next attachment we are running is the optic. Now this one is a personal choice. I would go for something cleaner. At first I was running the XRK, I think, optic or whatever, that big kind of ACOG scope, and I have used that on some weapons and I do like it a lot. But what I've noticed is when I knocked it out and, you know, went for something more cleaner like a reflex sight, it was definitely a lot better to aim with. So a lot of people will obviously like to run the slate reflector. I personally, for once, decided to run this other one, which I actually can't seem to find on here. Where the hell has it gone? It was the Quarters Classic Reflex. So yeah, this one here, it's got a really precise aiming sight. It basically looks very similar to the normal one, the slate reflector, but I just think this makes the gun look so clean when you're shooting it. It's much more precise and you can see what you're doing. So you definitely will want to have some sort of reflex sight on there. I think that will help out a lot. And then obviously the next attachment we have on here is the 20 round mag. It's the only mag we can put on this class. Before, we only have 10 rounds and 40 reserve, but this one gives us 20 rounds and 40 reserve. So it's not that drastic, but with a single fire weapon, 10 ammo is quite a lot. So 20 round, you're going to want the most on there. It makes the most sense to put that on there. And finally, we are actually running the stock. And the stock that we are running for this class is the Bruin Archangel Mark II. This is going to improve your ADS speed so much. And obviously, I know you're going to see the con there and think, oh, fuck, it's taking 2 hits to recoil control. Like I say, I don't really think the problem with this gun is recoil, because it's not a fully automatic or a burst fire weapon. It's a single fire marksman rifle. So the actual pattern that you're noticing when the gun's coming back is actually the gun kick. So yeah, using this is going to really improve that ADS. But anyway, that is the class that we are running today. Hopefully it did help you out and it's going to, you know, improve your time whilst using this weapon. And if it did, be sure to drop a like. It helps me out, it helps the channel out, pushes the video in the algorithm, and it means a great deal to me. So thank you if you do drop a like on this video. Be sure to also drop a comment and let me know what you think, and check out all the links down below in the description. It's much appreciated. But other than that, thank you everyone for watching, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Bye guys.